kwamba bayana kwamba serikali imejipanga vipi ili kuweza kutekeleza kazi. Na moja kwa moja basi nitakuwa nakupeleka uweze kujua yale yanayojiri kwa sasa.
The chief guest today can be able to unveil them. Mr. Speaker, I can confirm that the process went on very smoothly, and the selection of the leadership of the council was by consensus. The Council of Governors agreed on the leadership that would steer the council in the next 5 years, 1 year, then continually to elect as we proceed. My duty is just to announce, then you will unveil the leadership. Number one, the executive leadership comprises of the chair, the vice chair, and the whip. And the chair of the council is none other than Her Excellency Anne Mumbi Waiguru. The vice chair is His Excellency FCPA Ahmed Abdullahi. And the whip that will be whipping the people seated here is none other than His Excellency Stephen Sang. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, sir, to announce the leadership of the committees, the chairs of the various committees. We have 18 committees that guide and the implementation of the council affairs. And the first committee is Finance, Planning, and Economic Affairs that will be headed henceforth by His Excellency FCPA Fernandez Baraza. The other critical committee is Health Committee that will be spearheaded by Honorable Mudomi Juki. Number 3 is Agriculture, Livestock, and Cooperatives Committee, will be headed by His Excellency Kenneth Lusaka. Water, Forestry, and Natural Resources Management Committee will be headed by Andrew Madime. Number 5, Land, Housing, and Urban Development will be headed by His Excellency Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. Legal and Constitutional Affairs and Intergovernmental Relations Committee will be headed by His Excellency Mutula Kilonzo Jr. Number 7, Education Committee will be headed by Dr. Eric Mutai. Number 8, Gender, Youth, Culture, Sports, and Social Services Committee will be headed by His Excellency Simon Kachapin. Number 9, Trade, Industry, Manufacturing, and Enterprise Development Committee will be headed by Her Excellency Wavinya Ndeti. The Committee on Environment and Climate Change will be headed by His Excellency Dr. Wilbur Otichilo. Number 11, the Human Resource, Labor, and Social Welfare Committee will be headed by His Excellency Sakaja Johnson. Number 12, the Blue Economy and Infrastructure Committee will be headed by Dr. Kimani Wamatangi. Number 14, Arid, Semi-Arid Lands and Disaster Management Committee will be headed by His Excellency Nathif Jama. Number 15, Resource Mobilization and Partnerships Committee will be headed by Her Excellency Cicely Barire. Number 16, ICT and Knowledge Management Committee will be headed by His Excellency Wesley Rotich. Number 17, Security and Foreign Affairs Committee will be headed by His Excellency Major Retired Dr. Dado Godana. And the last one, the Tourism and Wildlife Committee will be spearheaded by His Excellency Patrick Olentutu. It is my pleasure this time, your Speaker, sir, to welcome you to unveil the leadership and the Executive Committee. Please welcome, just you greet them and shake the hand. We'll start with the Chair of the Council. Present to you. Yes.
Stand here?
Yes.
Okay.
Governor Anne Waiguru, please shake the hand of the Speaker as a symbol unveiling you on behalf of His Excellency the President. Thank you very much. The second one is the Vice Chair. The third is a whip. And lastly, all the chairs and the governors will have a photo after this. Thank you, and over to you, Facilitator.
Thank you, Madam CEO.
we are moving now to the next part of our closing ceremony, where I'll be asking the whip of the Council of Governors to come and then make some remarks and invite the former chairperson of the Council of Governors to come. But before I do so, Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to say that the proceedings of this induction meeting have discussed a number of things, including how devolution has evolved in this country and how devolution has changed the country in many ways. Social sectors have been impacted in different ways. And if you go to every county, you'll see tremendous changes that have taken place. But there are challenges that requires intervention and collective spirit of everyone in the country to address. Some of those challenges include funding and intermittent disbursement of funds. They include incomplete bundling of functions and effective transfer of functions from the national to the county levels. They also include having instances where national agencies are carrying out duties of the county government. They include also lack of supportive legislation, including by the National Assembly itself. And they include the huge wage bills in the counties. It has been agreed that the county government will collectively work with the national government to address some of these particular challenges, and the dialogue has been underlined as a very important aspect of intergovernmental relations. It has also been agreed there is a need to have the National Assembly play an effective role in supporting devolution, including by paying attention to having the need of a committee that can support devolution in different ways. It has also been agreed that the national agencies that are here, including the Auditor General, the Control of Budget, the Procurement Regulatory Authority, and the different other agencies that play a role in devolution, especially in public finance management, will have a formal retreat once again in order to help the county government understand and have a discussion on the issues that challenge devolution at different times. Mr. Speaker, sir, those are some of the issues that I thought are important to underline in order to show how everyone here appreciates devolution and appreciates the need for consultations and collective working spirit in order to address the challenges that face devolution and make Kenya a great country. Mr. Speaker, sir, if you allow me, I will ask the whip of the council now, our new whip, to come and take the discussions forward, and he'll begin by asking for remarks from the chairperson emeritus, my own friend and a neighbor, and a friend for many years, Governor Wambora, Chief Whip, sir.
Asante sana. A round of applause to Professor Kanyinga. You've done a wonderful job all through this. So, Chief Guest, Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Senator Moses Masika Wetangula. The titles are quite more. I don't think that there is any other position other than the President and the Deputy President that you have not occupied in this country. Quite a lot of titles there. So welcome on behalf of the Council of Governors, on behalf of all the participants in this induction, and we have the Deputy Governors with us, and I think also the Deputy Governors had their election, isn't it? So it would be important just to unveil that team of leadership that is leading the Council of, the caucus of the Deputy Governors. I think it would be important. Mushusho, the new chair. Where is the team? Just come and share with us the team of chief guests. I think that would be important because they also had their, they had their team chairman right here. Yeah. You will just share with us the team that will be leading your caucus. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Chief Guest, our Speaker, the Chair, Council of Governors, distinguished guests. My name is Martin Moshisho, Deputy Governor Kajiado, the new elected Chairman, Deputy Governors Forum. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Speaker. Ahmed Mohammed, Deputy Governor of Wajir County, Secretary, Deputy Governors Forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. My name is Lucy Mulili, Deputy Governor Makueni, Deputy to the Chair of Deputy Governors.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Jirema Kombo, the Deputy Governor Kwale, and the Treasurer to the group forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Deputy Governor Laikipia County, Chief Whip, Deputy Governors.
Tuwapigie makofi kabisa. Asante sana. Theirs is a caucus, and therefore they have a treasurer, they have the various other positions. The COG is anchored in law, and therefore the positions available for us is just the chair, the vice chair, and the chief whip together with all the others. So thank you so much. We wish you well, that team of leadership leading our caucus of deputy governors. May I now take this opportunity to welcome our former vice chair. Our former chair, sorry. His Excellency Governor Martin Wambora, who led this council for 2 terms. He is now a retired governor from Embu County. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to share your brief remarks. Karibu sana. Tumpigie makofi. I am sure he has not forgotten his speech somewhere. Kuna siku alitafuta speech yake mahali. Karibu sana, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Chief Whip, and congratulations, our chief guest, my old colleague in Parliament, Honorable Wetangula, pongezi sana upon succeeding to be the Speaker of the National Assembly. Excellency Governors, Deputy Governors, Cabinet Secretaries, Excellent Ambassador Thonke, Ambassador to Denmark and Chair of the Revolution Dawn Working Group, Members of Parliament present, Chairs of Constitutional Commissions and Independent Offices, Principal Secretaries, Heads of Missions, other national government representatives, other county government representatives, development partners, private sector, and civil society representatives, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First and foremost, I will take this opportunity to congratulate our today's chief guest, Right Honorable Wetangula, for coming to grace this wonderful occasion. May I also thank you for honoring the invitation of the Council of Governors to close this induction workshop for the third generation Excellency Governors and Deputy Governors. The Devolution family is deeply honored. Governors and Deputy Governors are your best bet to realize the magical 10% economic growth rate of Kenya's economy. It is very, very important. I really treasure the governors and the deputy governors, because when the 47 counties perform well, the whole nation will prosper. That's the easiest route to achieving the magical 10%. Secondly, I want to congratulate the 47 county governors for your well-deserved victory in the just concluded elections. Pongezi. To the newly elected leadership of the council, led by my former colleague, Excellency Governor Waiguru, pongezi sana. We are very proud of what you are winning, and all your colleagues. On 27th January 2022, I was elected to serve the second term as the chair of the Council of Governors. I was greatly humbled by the trust and confidence of my brothers and sisters, which they placed to me to provide servant leadership. I served with my fellow brothers. His Excellency James Ongwae, who was the vice chair person, and Engineer Alex Tanui Togos as a whip. Their strong leadership and unwavering support to the Council and the County of Governors at large is much appreciated. May I also take this opportunity to appreciate my other colleagues, to appreciate the governors who served with me, so that, and very well. Unfortunately, that the 6 of whom exited, while 11 were re-elected. And I thank you all. Now, the achievements of the council have been elaborated by the CEO, and I don't want to repeat that because I know you have had a long day. I don't want to go through that list of achievement. But may I just say one or two issues and more. One is the consensus. I'm very, very impressed that you continue the tradition of governors to get the leadership without having a lot of acrimony, but by consensus. I'm happy for carrying that tradition. Number two, the leadership, the former leadership and my chairmanship managed to get quite a number of the critical parastatals where we are represented as a Council of Governors. For example, the KEMSA, also the famous National Hospital Insurance Fund, and quite a number of others. The leadership facilitated better working relationship with the national government. And I'm sure with the HE, the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable William Samoei Ruto, it will even be better. I have no doubt about that. Excellency Governors, I note that the task ahead is daunting, but I'm confident that you'll make it now that you have been sufficiently equipped with the relevant skills and knowledge to effectively run the 47 counties. My humble duty today is to officially hand over the baton to the new leadership. I urge them to keep a close eye on the following. One, anchoring of COG Secretariat in law. Finalizing of the pension for the county governors and their deputies. We don't want a situation when heads of government in the counties retire and they have to do funny activities to survive. Number three, implementation of the progressive 2022-2027 strategic plan. 4, intergovernmental contribution and support to the Secretariat, who have been truly defenders of devolution. With these few remarks, let me wish His Excellency Governors and Deputy Governors all the best. It is my prayer that you'll be valiant defenders of devolution. This generation and generations to come are counting on you. May you all be found faithful and progressive leaders by the residents of each of our respective 47 counties. God bless you all. God bless the 47 counties. God bless this great nation of Kenya and our brand new and able President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of Kenya Defense Forces, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Asante sana, asante, asante. Shukran.
Tumpigie Chairman makofi. Thank you, Bwana Chairman. In a short while, I am sure as the serving chairman, you had instruments of power. So in a short while, we will be inviting you to hand over the instruments of power to the new chairman. And thereafter, we will have the chief, we will then have the other speeches going on. As the whip of the council, I want to give a vote of thanks, because once we are done, the vice chair will make his remarks, invite the chair, who will then make our maiden speech and invite our chief guest. So I want to, on behalf of the Council of Governors, we have had a very productive and successful induction for the last 3 days, which would not have been possible without your support. I wish to begin by thanking the Almighty for allowing us to see this day. We have been through a lot as a country in the past couple of years. We lost colleagues. We have been through a pandemic, a locust invasion, a hotly contested general election, but God has seen us through. I also want to be grateful to all Excellency Governors for upholding the rule of law by ensuring a smooth transition of the Council of Governors to the 6th Executive. You continue to show Kenyans and the world that it is possible for transitions to be smooth, agreeable, and efficient, just as we have seen in the recently concluded elections. To the chief guest, represented by the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Senator Honorable Moses Wetangula, thank you for your continued support to the Council of Governors in many ways that we cannot be able to enumerate. We are grateful that you have honored our invitation to come and unveil the leadership of the new leadership of the Council of Governors. We look forward to working together to elevate this great nation of ours. To the Deputy President, in his absentia, he was here to open the induction, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. We want to thank him for gracing this induction. This was his first official assignment after swearing in. We want to appreciate and thank him for finding time. To all our partners who have supported us in one way or the other in ensuring the success of this induction, we are truly grateful. A special mention to FCDO through ACT. We have CHAI, we have KCB Bank, Cooperative Bank, AGRA, WFP, UNDP, CPF, and World Bank for supporting this induction. To our development partners represented by the chairperson of the Devolution Donor Working Group, His Excellency Ole Thonke, thank you very much for the support that you continue to give the Council of Governors. To the independent commissions that were represented throughout the 3 days of our induction, we appreciate your presence, your support, and your contributions. Representatives of private sector, asanteni sana for the support and attending and the luncheons that you organized and you attended here. Our invited guests, you are special to this council in one way or another, and we treasure your support and contribution. I would name each and every one of them, but accept our sincere gratitude. Thank you very much for gracing and supporting our induction. We also want to thank Pride Inn Paradise Beach Resort for the successful hosting of our induction, together and also supporting the many demands for the past few days. The other hostels that we stayed in, including Serena Beach Resort and Sarova White Sands, we want to appreciate their support. Finally, I want to appreciate the Secretariat of the COG, led by our able CEO, Mary Mwiti. Thank you for ensuring a successful induction. We have learned, we have taken a lot, we have taken home a lot. We promise to support the council in the ways that you have requested us to do this. This was indeed a fruitful induction, and I wish to say without fear of favor that Excellency Governors remain grateful for your unwavering support. The Council of Governors is very pleased to have a supportive partners in each and every one of us. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki. I now want to invite our Vice Chair, Governor Wajir, to come and make his remarks. Thereafter, invite the former chair to hand over the instruments of power. Then our new chair will then proceed to make her maiden speech. Karibu sana, Vice Chair.
Our chief guest, the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Moses Wetangula, our Chair, Excellency Anne Waiguru, outgoing Chair, our Chief Whip, Excellency Governors and Deputy Governors, all invited guests and participants of this induction course, good afternoon. Foremost, I want to congratulate Madam Chair for being elected as Chair. I want to thank Excellency Governors for electing me as the Vice Chair, and I also want to congratulate all governors who've been elected to serve in various capacities as chairs. We're glad that we've been able to uphold the very good tradition of this council of picking their leadership through consensus. Sometimes it's tough consensus, but it's consensus, and we want to keep it that way, because the Council of Governors is a bipartisan forum that works for the interests of all counties, and we want to work together to foster devolution and safeguard and enhance its place in the governance of this country. And I want to assure you that as the leadership that comes into office, we will do everything possible to remain true to the ideals of the COG and to work for devolution. Mine is very short. It's now my pleasure to invite the former chair and the current chair, so that the handing over of the instruments of power, yes, instruments of power as chair of council handed over to our new chair, and then once that is done, our chair will give her maiden speech before inviting the chief guest to wrap it up for us. Chairs, karibuni. Yeah. Madam Chair, having received the instruments of power, it's now my pleasure to invite you so that you may give your maiden speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Right Honorable Moses Wetangula, Speaker of the National Assembly, fellow Excellency Governors and Deputy Governors, Excellency Martin Wambora, Chair Emeritus and former Governor Embu County, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the Council of Governors, allow me with great pleasure to welcome and thank the Chief Guest, Honorable Moses Wetangula, for honoring our invitation to grace this ceremony. As a council, we recognize and appreciate the new administration's commitment to advance democratic governance as well as support the implementation of devolution. I now take this opportunity to extend my gratitude to my fellow Excellency governors for electing me today to serve as the chairperson of the council for the next year. I am profoundly humbled, honored, and privileged to be entrusted with this role at a critical time when we have just ushered in the third generation of county governments. The responsibility bestowed upon me is no mean feat, but I am equal to the task. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, devolution has come of age. In the last 9 years, we have witnessed remarkable milestones in the devolved sectors. I salute the pioneer county governors who have, to a great measure, played a fundamental role in delivering essential services, developing local economies, and empowering communities through robust public participation. Indeed, devolution has had tremendous impact on every Kenyan. As we take up the mantle, we must strive to build on the successes and achievements made so that we can deliver on the devolution dream where every citizen, regardless of status, has equal access to services. I note that we are blessed with a diverse team comprising of 26 new governors, 11 second-term governors, and 8 pioneer governors, and 40 new deputy governors who have rich experience that will greatly benefit devolution. Your Excellencies, as a Council of Governors, we commit to a collaborative approach in governance and affirm our support to ensure that the manifesto of the government and the manifesto of all counties and the government is achieved. In our view, if fully implemented, Kenya will achieve durable growth while maintaining macroeconomic stability and empowerment of the people at the bottom of the pyramid. On the same note, Your Excellencies, we call upon your support to the Council of Governors as we prioritize to address the following challenges which persisted in the previous administration. The first one is the perennial delay of disbursement of funds by the National Treasury, which has hampered smooth and efficient, uninterrupted service delivery. We hope, Bwana Speaker, you will relay the message of that which the Council of Governors is expecting to be addressed by the national government. Number 2, revoking of executive orders which seek to establish authorities to undertake devolved functions in competition with county governments. Number 3, anchoring of the COG Secretariat in law to facilitate adequate support to county governments. Number 4, a review of laws, policies, and regulations, especially in the agriculture, water, and health sectors, which claw back on devolution. Number 5, finalization of the unbundling, transfer, and costing of devolved functions. Number 6, increased funding to devolved units to at least 35% of the national revenue. And number 7, the fast tracking of the governor's pension. It is our hope that the aforementioned challenges will be addressed within the next 3 months to enable counties realize their full potential. And now more than ever, both levels of government must join hands as we execute our distinct but complementary roles. We hope that consultation and dialogue will be our mantra as we forge ahead so that together we can steer devolution to greater heights. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, with those few remarks, I would like to request us to be upstanding as I take this humble opportunity to welcome His Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, to deliver the speech of His Excellency, the President, on his behalf. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We may be seated, please. Chairman Emeritus to the Council of Governors, my good friend Martin Wambora, the brand new elected chair, Governor Anne Waiguru, the vice chair, the whip, the facilitators to this induction seminar, all resource persons, the chair of the Deputy Governor's Caucus, your vice chair and the team, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to deliver a speech on behalf of His Excellency the President, William Samoei Ruto, EGH, the Commander-in-Chief of our Defense Forces, who was supposed to grace this occasion but is, due to unavoidable circumstances, engaged elsewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, it gives me great pleasure to join you today as we close this induction workshop. I believe these last 3 days have been very illuminating, especially for those of you who have been newly elected. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you on your election and re-election as governors and deputy governors. This is an illustration of the trust that your county residents have on you. I note with satisfaction that 7 women governors have been elected, up from 3 in the last general election. I wish to take this opportunity to specifically congratulate them for coming out victorious during the just concluded elections. I'm further gratified to note that we have 8 women deputy governors whom I also wish to congratulate for this great achievement. If Kenya continues on this trajectory, I believe we will join other countries in the region that have scored highly in achieving gender parity. The leadership positions you hold are critical, and it was therefore important for you to participate in the induction program that was aimed at preparing you to assume office responsibilities. This is particularly important considering that counties play a key role in our socio-economic development. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of the 3 days induction, allow me to share a few thoughts on my government's support and commitment to devolution in the next 5 years. The devolved system of government has been implemented since 2013. During this period, the country has experienced commendable socio-economic development. In the last 9 years, counties have received over 3.2 trillion Kenya shillings as equitable share of revenue, which has increased investments in the counties, leading to improved service delivery. Some of the key economic sectors that have benefited from this investment include health, education, water, roads, energy, housing, agriculture, and trade. For example, in the health and education sectors, counties constructed 1,419 dispensaries and 821 early childhood development ECD centers between 2013 and 2018. Though we have had good progress in implementation of the devolution, it is noted that there is still much we can do to improve on implementation of devolution as envisaged in our 2010 Constitution. I am aware that counties have raised concerns with the delays in the disbursement of equitable share of revenue by the national government. In our manifesto of Kenya Kwanza, we committed ourselves to ensuring that the shareable revenue is transferred to counties in a timely and predictable manner and in accordance with the law. This will ensure that counties carry on with their development activities without interruptions, including meeting their financial obligations. Accordingly, I will engage the National Treasury to ensure that there are no further delays and that all disbursements to the counties are done on time to enable counties to meet their obligations. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I am informed that the average potential of on-source revenue for the 47 counties is 171.7 billion. However, actual collections have averaged only 32.9 billion, which is a huge shortfall on the expected revenues of the counties. This therefore means that the counties are unable to meet their budgetary commitments. We are committed to working with county governments to ensure and enhance their capacity to generate their own income and supplement transfers from the national government. As part of these efforts, I will engage the Cabinet with a view to reintroduce the Bill on On-Source Revenue in Parliament to give the counties a legal framework for enhancing revenue collection at the county levels. And you can count on me to support that when it comes. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, one major area of dissatisfaction in the counties is the delay in transferring all the devolved functions. We are committed to the complete transfer of all functions constitutionally earmarked for the counties. I therefore want to direct the Ministry of Devolution to complete the process of unbundling of all these functions and the National Treasury to avail the attendant necessary funds to complete the exercise. I am also aware that the valuation and transfer of assets and liabilities relating to the devolved functions has not been completed due to insufficient funds. I'm therefore directing the National Treasury to provide sufficient funds for this task to the Minister of Devolution to ensure that the exercise is completed as soon as possible. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, by now, you are all aware that both the counties and the national government are struggling with the payment of pending bills to merchants and contractors, while at the same time balancing the development needs of our counties and the country. While it is critical to ascertain the validity of the pending bills before payment, it is of paramount importance that these bills are paid. Many ordinary Kenyans who provide goods and services to the national and county governments have remained unpaid for a long period, and some have even lost their properties that they use as collaterals to guarantee bank overdrafts. Our economy is driven by the efforts of such Kenyans through small and medium enterprises, SMEs, yet the pending bills have destroyed their businesses, thereby contracting the Kenyan economy and reducing our potential to create job opportunities, especially for the youth and women. I am therefore directing that both the national and county governments comply with the financial regulations which stipulate that pending bills are cleared as a first charge in the beginning of a financial year. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give my assurance that as a government, we will continue working with the counties and other stakeholders in the devolution sector to strengthen the policy and legislative framework to support operations at the counties. Currently, the government is reviewing the policy on devolved system of government to make it more responsive to emerging issues in the implementation of devolution. I'm therefore calling for your support and participation to enrich this policy so that it captures the aspirations of our counties. Article 6.2 of the Constitution envisages for a two-tier system of government and recognizes their distinctiveness and interdependence, requiring them to conduct their mutual relations in consultation and cooperation. Harmonious intergovernmental relations are critical in strengthening interactions between the national and county governments. The legal framework has established various intergovernmental structures aimed at facilitating the said interactions. I want to emphasize to you, Excellencies, my commitment to strengthen and rejuvenate the laid down intergovernmental structures as primary platforms for engagement between the two levels of government in the cooperation and resolution of matters of interest. Further, I wish to urge that the two levels of government embrace alternative dispute resolution mechanisms in the resolution of any intergovernmental disputes. This is an amicable and cost-effective method of resolving intergovernmental conflicts. Various courts have now guided that regarding intergovernmental disputes, the parties must first exhaust the alternative dispute resolution mechanisms before seeking judicial intervention. I also wish to reiterate the government's commitment to support county governments in building the requisite capacity to enable them to discharge their mandates effectively. In this regard, the national government has developed the National Capacity Building Framework, which guides and harmonizes interventions and funding targeted to capacity building programs in counties. Finally, Excellencies, it is my expectation that with the resources at your disposal, there will be improved governance, efficient and effective development, and service delivery. With these remarks, I therefore wish to formally close this induction workshop. Your Excellencies, on my part, I'll just add one or two things. One, to congratulate personally each one of you for the grueling campaigns you have gone through and the successful election that you all deserved after that election. Two, we have gone around the country in each of your counties, not once, not twice, and I can tell you that from my perspective, I saw many, many positive attributes to devolution. From high-rise structures in far-flung Wote in Makueni to a 3-star hotel in Wajir full with lifts and everything and internet, to tarmac roads in many, many places, devolution is truly the gift to the people of Kenya. And you as the midwives and the champions, we encourage you and urge you to ensure that it becomes the engine of our economic growth. It becomes the cornerstone of creation of jobs, particularly in rural areas. And above all, it becomes part and parcel of our intergovernmental engagement to see that public resources are not expended in a duplex manner, and the national government, as you have heard from His Excellency's statement, will unbundle all the pending devolution functions with attendant resources down to the counties. On my part, any legislation that requires to enhance the strength and success of devolution, I assure you, you can count on me and my counterpart in the Senate, who has been one of your own Governor, Amason Kingi. We are going to be facilitators and not an impediment to the enhancement of devolution. I have walked the journey of devolution from the creation and crafting of the 2010 Constitution in the last 2 terms in the Senate, and I do know where it pinches. The tension and rifts between the 2 houses of Parliament, the observance of Article 110(3) of the Constitution in concurrence on bills, and the seamless flow of legislation from one house to another are things that we are going to pay very close attention to. And as governors and your council and your resource teams, be encouraged and feel free to engineer legislation to come to the houses where there are delays from either the national government or other sponsors of bills to ensure that we support devolution, because I know the people of Kenya voted for the Constitution 2010, research shows, because 68% was in support of devolution. Thank you, Your Excellencies, and let's make Kenya greater and greater. Let's put behind us the tensions that we had during campaigns and embark on construction and reconstruction of our economy for Kenyans to live better lives, and for you as governors to live your counties when your terms end better than you found them. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Another round of applause to our chief guest, Your Excellency, the Speaker of the National Assembly. We think as COG that we have the best chance as a country to implement devolution, particularly with you, a former senator sitting as the Speaker of the National Assembly, and our own brother Amason Kingi as the Speaker of the Senate. We definitely think that gives us a very good opportunity to address a number of the challenges that we have faced before. You are left with only one task, Your Excellency, on behalf of the President of Kenya, to launch the Council of Governors Strategic Plan. And before we invite you to do that, we want to ask the Secretariat to play that brief documentary. Before then, we can allow the chief guest to launch our strategic plan.
The Council of County Governors, COG, is an intergovernmental body established under Section 19 of the Intergovernmental Relations Act 2012 and comprises 47 county governors. To accomplish its mandate as per Section 20 of the Act, the Council is guided by 5-year strategic plans. The first strategic plan ran from 2014 to 2017, while the second one ran from 2017 to 2022. The epilogue of the 2017 to 2022 strategic plan showed that the succeeding one needed to focus on increasing the council's support to county governments with improved service delivery in mind. Therefore, the Council of Governors Strategic Plan 2022 to 2027 aims at strengthening devolution and is anchored on 3 pillars, which are: Pillar 1, good governance and institutional capacity for sustainable service delivery in the counties. This pillar will focus on the following objectives: promote good governance at the county level, strengthen the institutional capacity of county governments, promote knowledge management, learning, innovation and research in counties. Pillar 2, intergovernmental relations and devolution. The objectives under this pillar are: strengthen cooperative government and intergovernmental relations, strengthen policy and legislation for devolution, and strengthen county government's role in the global agenda. Pillar 3, COG's institutional development. This pillar will focus on strengthening COG's administrative functions and identity and
ni kwamba kama unavyoona katika televisheni yako kama unavyoona ni kwamba tayari wameweza kukamilisha shughuli zao hapa katika baraza hili la magavana. Ni kwamba vile vile shughuli za zile ni kwamba kwa sasa moja kwa moja basi nitakuwa nakupeleka kule katika eneo la Nakuru ambapo tunampata Rais William Ruto akiweza kuhudhuria taifa.
Our programs and as people who provide oversight over what we do as government. The economy is the basis upon which this election was prosecuted. And you now understand where we are in terms of our economic position. We have explained to you our Kenya Kwanza plan. We have explained to you in detail, many of the professionals who are here. We have explained to you matters to do with agriculture and what we need to do with agriculture so that agriculture can lift our economy. And when we say agriculture, we mean from productivity. We have agreed that with appropriate intervention, we can increase our productivity without necessarily increasing the acreage of the land we are using under our agricultural activities. We have agreed with you on how agriculture is going to be used to stimulate and to spur our agro-processing, value addition, all the way to manufacturing and job creation. You now appreciate why UHC can become a reality in the shortest time possible, and the necessary interventions we have to do when it comes to reforming the National Health Insurance Fund and making sure that it works for everybody and leaves no Kenyan behind. You have heard here that every year 1 million Kenyans run the risk of being destitute because of illness. And that is why it is necessary for us to urgently reform the NHIF and roll out our universal health coverage plan, which we sold to the people of Kenya, and that is why they elected us. We have also agreed on what we need to do with our housing plan. You now understand better why this housing plan is not just about building houses. It's the whole concept of transforming communities and transforming our nation. Getting the people in slums to live in decent habitat. Making sure that we create more home owners than rent payers. We also ensure that through the housing plan, we also make millions of our young people to have jobs. We have desegregated the housing plan so that it also begins to create industry. Every item, we have agreed that we are going to standardize doors, windows, hinges, and everything else so that it is possible to produce doors en masse, it is possible to produce windows en masse, it's possible to produce all the components of a house en masse, create industry. You heard from the gentleman from Gong Road how they got a contract of 120 million, the people on the roadside, because of the power of aggregation. I think we've also agreed with you that we have among the lowest saving as a percentage of GDP in our region. It is not possible for us to continue contributing 200 shillings and pretending that we are doing anything called saving. It is not saving. It is a joke. And we have agreed, and we have been taken through the numbers here, what savings can do for our country. In fact, savings is biblical. I mean, it's honestly, yeah? The Bible says, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. So, for those of you who are believers, you will also be fulfilling what the Bible says. And you could possibly go to heaven. for saving, So we all agree that we have to raise our savings as a percentage of GDP. It is not possible for NHIF to continue receiving 200 shillings from people who earn as much as 1,500,000, 200,000. You have heard that it's even becoming expensive administering the 200,000. We have just been told here, if you continue with the 200 shillings, it's better to stop. So, good people, we have to do the necessary reforms, change the law, amend the regulations so that we can save appropriately. We've all been given the benefits of saving. It not only secures our future, it gets us the resources to implement and grow our country, to implement our plans, to fund our development, so that when we fund our development, we create jobs, create more savers, and make our country wealthy. We cannot grow our wealth on the savings of other people because they are not going to give us free money. They'll give us money, but they will demand a return on it. So we become their slaves. Si tumekubaliana? So we are going to implement the new NSSF law, hopefully when we get it out of court, either by settlement or by implementing what the court will have directed, but certainly we need to make a movement in that direction. I cannot say everything else that we have said, but I really value the time we have spent since yesterday. And I appreciate that many members may have thought we would come to Naivasha and enjoy ourselves. Unfortunately, it has become like CBC. It has become like CBC. Too much homework. And so, but I am sure we'll get another occasion to enjoy ourselves. This was a very important session. I'm sorry we have pushed everybody to the limit, but we all agree that we have taken a lot of valuable information that will help us prosecute our work in Parliament and everywhere else. So tunakubaliana hivyo? I also want to say that this afternoon we have also chosen our leadership in both houses, the leaders of majority in Senate and the leaders of the majority coalition party in the National Assembly. Our friends on the other side will choose the leaders of the minority because they are the minority. They just have to live with the reality that they are the minority. Let us not have an unnecessary contest as to which side is the majority. Since they lost the instruments of coercion, because the only way they had a semblance of numbers is when they could use the police and the DCI and the EACC and the KRA and all these other institutions to intimidate and blackmail and threaten people. Since the people of Kenya stopped them from having those instruments, they have taken their place because freedom has come to Kenya. And people everybody can make a choice, that their own independent choices, without blackmail and threats and intimidation. So our leader of majority in National Assembly is going to be the Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, the Member of Parliament for Kikuyu. Congratulations, Mheshimiwa. Tumpigie makofi huyu jamaa. The Deputy Leader of Majority in the National Assembly is Owen Baya, the Member of Parliament for Kilifi South. Kilifi North, sorry. Pigeni makofi. The Chief Whip of the National Assembly is going to be the Member of Parliament for South Mugirango, Silvanas Osoro. Congratulations, Mheshimiwa. The Deputy Whip of the National Assembly is going to be Naomi Wako, the Women Member of Parliament for Marsabit County. The Leadership of Senate, Leader of Majority, Aaron Cheriot, Senator for Kericho County. Congratulations, Mheshimiwa. Deputy Majority Leader, Tabitha Karanja, the Senator of Nakuru County. Chief Whip, Boni Halwale, Bullfighter, Senator Kakamega County. Congratulations again. And finally, Deputy Chief Whip, Tumbezi Lelegwe, Senator Samburu County. A round of applause for those good people who will lead our teams in both the Senate and National Assembly. The other matters, as we have agreed, will be handled by my very able deputy here on the other matters to do with Parliament, in consultation with now these leaders and the party leaders in our coalition, so that we can present a team that will make sure that our agenda in both houses in Parliament is prosecuted appropriately in a timely manner, so that we can deliver on the commitments we made to the people of Kenya. Members, ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely want to appreciate the party leaders who are in our midst, my good brother Musalia Mudavadi, my good brother Alfred Mutua, my good brother Mule, and all the party leaders who are here. I know, Medhu, you are not yet a party leader. Ngojea kidogo, bado kidogo. Yeah. To thank all the members. My good brother, Roba, the party leader of UDM, is right in the house. And Mwangi Kiunjuri, who is right here. His other name, for those of you who don't know, is called Festus. And who else? David Ochieng, the party leader of MDG, is in the house. Na ule mwingine nani? Who is that guy? Abdi. Is that Abdi? Is that Abdi? Yes, Abdi. The party leader of NAP, from all the way from Ijara. Nani mwingine? Kamket. The Jogo man in our midst. Who is that? Mr. Mandasi. From all the way from CCM. The Member of Parliament for Chepalungu, right there. Anybody else? Of course, the party leader of Ford Kenya is not here because he's our speaker, and we would rather keep him neutral from this But I think the acting party leader for this meeting is the investor there. Mr. Wanyonyi. And of course, we have Karemba. You know, we have people and then we have a Mukorino. Okay. So, members, congratulations to all of you for making time so that we can engage in this meeting. I wish you the very best in the rest of the balance of the meeting. I think we can conclude this meeting there now so that we are all free to enjoy the balance of the evening, and then we can leave tomorrow morning. So, asanteni sana. Is there anything? Masao? Okay, I think that concludes the business of this parliamentary group meeting. Asanteni sana, and may the good Lord bless you. Asanteni.
Your Excellency, sir, thank you very much, and kindly, I request you to step forward for the national anthem so that we close. Sir.